welcome to the Cabinet walkthrough of the RLB International Airport for its COVID-19 retrofit works. With the announcement of the border opening for October the 31st, 2020, SCASPA moved expeditiously to commence retrofit works to ensure the safety of all our airport employees, passengers, and our community as a whole. The work being undertaken is in two phases. Phase 1 involves the retrofit of the arrival area and the installation of plexiglass sneeze guards throughout the airport, while Phase 2 focuses on the retrofit of the departure area to maximize the use of the space and to streamline the departing passengers' screening process. The walkthrough today will focus on Phase 1, which includes, but is not limited to, the following. 1. The newly constructed Welcome Center on the ramp outside, and this will house passengers ahead of the medical screening process. This involves the erection of a 50 by 100 foot transparent tent on reinforced wooden flooring and bathroom facilities in the containers. The Welcome Center will be air conditioned, equipped with seating to accommodate more than 140 passengers, concession stands, and TVs displaying the relevant information. 2. The newly constructed medical center with an isolation unit on the ramp of arrival. It's next to the Welcome Center and to the back of it. This facility will be used by the medical team for testing and the isolation of passengers who they deem are at high risk. 3. The reconfiguration of the immigration hall. This immigration hall, as you can see, has been divided into two areas physically separated by a partition. One section will be used for the queuing up of approximately 40 passengers, physically distanced, awaiting medical screening, and the other section used for regular immigration processing. 4. The creation of a medical screening room, which is to the back of you, which was formerly the VIP lounge. It's located behind you. It has been transformed into the medical screening room, outfitted with 4 screening stations, a testing booth, and thermal scanning facilities. 5. Installation of plexi sneeze glass throughout the airport, including the customs baggage hall, the check-in counters and the kiosks, and on the counters of the departure gates, bar counters, just to name a few areas, all in an attempt to protect the airport employees. Phase 1 was projected to cost approximately 2 million EC dollars. However, major changes were made during the construction to augment safety, especially within the medical isolation center and the medical screening area. Additionally, the scope was extended to include a 6th element, which is a complete transformation of the customs baggage hall area. This was necessary to reorganize the processing of passengers, to reduce the bottlenecks, and while keeping the custom officers safe. These changes have increased the project cost from some $2 million to 2.6 million EC dollars. The Financial Secretary, in her communication to SCASPA, committed $2.7 million for both Phases 1 and Phase 2. Fellow Cabinet colleagues, it is evident that given the much needed increase in the scope during Phase 1, the commitment of $2.7 million would only be sufficient for Phase 1. SCASPA would therefore be making another submission on Phase 2, that is the departure area, which of course would be less involved than Phase 1, which is the arrival area. Ms. Stewart would develop on this project further when she comes to the microphone with her presentation. At this time, I want to thank SCASPA and the SKTA team for their hard work in getting the airport ready ahead of border reopening. And I also want to thank in a very special way my cabinet colleagues and the FS for their financial support towards this project. It would be remiss of me not to express my gratitude to the contractor, Ballet Construction, the architects, BOA, and interior designer, Lorraine Woods, for their swift response and efficient work in such a very short period. We are a mere 5 days away, but I am advised that we are ready for October 31st opening and for our first international commercial flight, which is scheduled for November the 7th. We have come a long way, and so from henceforth, we pray that our country remains safe and free from the COVID-19. And so I want to thank all my colleagues and the members here this morning for your indulgence. Thank you.